I want to see who's going to be challenging Dubs and, or who Dubs and Mega are going to be challenging on height, I should say, because it's them who really have the initiative in that one. Scoped and Tifu still against what must be Legendary and Armon. The nameplates are off, but this time they lose that air vent drop, and you can see Scopes not having the same thing, not doing the same thing that Legedian was when we tuned in with this duo in the previous games.
Yeah, the analytics and the stats are there with us too. This is the closest games have ever been. First and fifth place, 5 points of a difference as we get a little bit groovy with the music. Not sure if that's my end or why that bass was boosted so high, but I liked it.
A quick start onto Brutus though for Tifu and Scopes. He's not going to be able to finish that out. My man's a wall taker apparently. They're going to double team him. They get the vault's key at least, but look at this, Legendary and Armand. They're sneaking the vault. They've actually started to control with the builds and the materials that they've accrued so far. They've started to control that side. And here Dubs with the card off TNTina. You know what? I haven't seen them with the bow itself at all. So maybe what's happening is they're just leaving it.
Yeah, they have to just leave the bow behind, and after the fact move on. Oh no, wait, Mega has the bow, so never mind. They're definitely having
well,
it this
no,
game,
like
but
throughout the game, because remember how like a random team had it in the last one? I forget who it was, but it feels like no. Oh my goodness, Satan Saf, they're on a wide split, and there's two teams here, lurking. One at the lake house, not too far away, and another one coming off of the castle. And with 28 points, this team is 4th, I believe, right now. This could be dangerous.
I mean, this is going to be a big speed bump in their way if they don't kind of get things done beforehand. We saw what happens when there's any room for contention with these guys. Their game plan gets kind of split off and apart. It's Sid who's going to be at the bottom side of the leaderboard, but Elige and P-God are here.
I was saying Saf is getting involved in this because he knows, or must have known, the HP status of these players. Or at least knew that there was going to be a loot imbalance that he can pressure off of. Acorn and Jack in an uncharacteristic fight against Unknown Ronaldo early. You got to be careful against players like Unknown and Ronaldo, who might not necessarily be having the best performance or are not happy with their performance, because they will push you at some state or stage of the game. We'll have to see if they maintain composure. Ronaldo going for a big wide flank. Acorn and Jack still up on top, and they're maintaining good position and good footsies to stay away from this and stay away from this fight so that Unknown and Ronaldo don't even have the possibility. Ooh, a big snipe from the backside. Ronaldo is at 7 HP. I believe that could be either Chapman AV or Dubs and Mega coming off of the rig.
Now the implications start this early into the game. I didn't expect it. There's just 2 duels going down and 88 people alive. People are trying to hang out just by a thread. Not get eliminated just yet. 87 as more people get separated into solos. Ronaldo also hanging out by their breath. I think this is the first time we've seen these guys struggle this hard off spawn.
Yeah, I think so too. Dude, great pressure from Acorn and Jack. Really a high ground that's unstoppable. And it's funny how much this spot has evolved since squads. Obviously, we're in a different game mode, but you never used to be really worried about anything if you did fight here. But now, with Chapin AV in the midst, with Dubs and Mega at the rig, with Nano and Vivid at the rig as well, there's so many teams that would love for these two teams at the Slurpy Swamps themselves to be fighting so that they can take shots like these onto Ronaldo and Unknown. Here's a team that we've missed for a while, Kanata and Joey Tusi. Off of their spot, wherever it might be, making their rotate in towards the center of the map. This is Lucky down. Really no rise for these guys in basically the past 3 games.
Yeah. Acceleration has to happen here and now. I'm curious on an update for Chap A VR. Here's Clicks and Calc. Way far away from Lazy Lake. Possibly even stealing loot from that middle Misty Island from Scented and Edgy. Here they are. Yeah. And they're not going to be doing their traditional loot route this time all the way up at the dam.
They did come off of that, so maybe it's already done. But the angle that they're coming into this is a little bit different. Kind of invading on the space owned, not owned, but typically taken by Chap and AV. So you asked for that update as well, so that could give you insight. Here's Clicks and Calc off the weird spot off Lazy Lake. Somehow they find themselves down at the Misty Meadow Dam, right on top, and Clicks gets a big start, but young Calc can't find the pressure enough. Hold on, he almost gets in. There's another team spraying madly and wildly onto Clicks, because I believe they know he's low, and even Calc gets beamed. This is looking rough for this team.
With 21 points on Game 5, I know that Clicks is known for those big comebacks. Calc is also known for being a winner, but these reputations might just be a little bit too much to live up to, because if they're out of the competition now, there's just no way they come back in Game 6, I don't think, because they're going to need like a 30-point game. Against this tight of competition, not even Unknown and Ronaldo can find a way to get into people's boxes and finish out games fast enough, unless they're third-partying. Clicks was the OG pioneer of that W key meta, but I think he might be a long ways from home from there. Calc has 500 AR, so if they somehow do end up surviving, getting into the later portions of the game, he can utilize that for so much pressure, stay online for so long. Right now they stay in Storm, playing so careful to be able to survive. Origin and Skittles once again in the scope line of Dubs and Mega for the second game in a row, and Dubs might be coming straight into a trap here. He gets shot off, but no damage taken. The disguise does get removed, though. He looks for more shots on the Skittles, who's running straight away, and Origin is going to be up top, holding out, making sure he can rotate. This time, though, they're not going to be going down after being seen for the first 5 seconds.
Moving through Sweaty, this is going to be one of the first zone. Oh my gosh. Calc and Clicks. I think not only is this not a fight that they wanted to take, but they got forced. Their hands were forced for so long. And this, to me, that they're still here and they didn't find a way out, even though, like, again, some situations make it so that your hands are forced, but that they didn't find a way out means to me the mentality is shot for this duo. And I think it would for any storm fight like that for Clicks and Calc.
Yeah, I mean, they played so passive when we left them last. No one was around them. Hanson was so far away, and they just stayed in their boxes. But I guess the man from the moon wanted to come back to Earth, specifically in a storm, and take that fight. Over here, that young baby duo, the Banana Skins, one of them not rocking it. Maybe that's why the synergy's off. Not finding any success.
Vivid and Nanolite at 21 points. Oh, what? Vivid? Giving Unknown a taste of his own medicine. The tap, tap, tap. 2 on the body, 1 on the face. Brings him down 100 HP quick. And he's still looking for more. Almost gets a snipe. Nano and Vivid probably looking very good for Surge, but they've got to be careful. The team's on the back side of them. How does this proceed? And we already saw Dubs and Mega up on the northern side of the zone, definitely making their rotate around towards dead side. So solid positioning play out of Dubs and Mega, and definitely securing themselves a good opportunity in this game.
When you position, that's literally just, I think, 3/4 of the game already done there, because your shots become easier, your rotations become easier after that as well. So prioritizing that for the second, third zone is the top priority. Right now, Shark, even though him and Knight got a nice pickup there onto Hogman, finding not that much success off of his game, they're going to be in trouble moving forward. Not as much as other duos, though, because 600 damage almost above Storm Surge is going to be a very good place to operate from. Clarity and Elevate, not sure if they're in the same boat, but they are on the same screen. A bunch of other people will be moving around, but Shark and Knight will heal up and have the first opportunity to move forward into zone. There's already 2 duos, maybe 3, battling for that airdrop.
This team right on the verge at top 5 before this game, and with a solid rise for them towards the tail end of everything. Yes, they showed up well in the warm-ups in week 1, but then continued to dominate and grow as players in these stacked games. And also, I just have to give it to Rogue Shark. His aim has been ridiculous, both during normal situations and clutch situations specifically. The way that this man can finish fights and hit those big pumps that are necessary are so key.
You've got the keys on stats locked down as well. You can read that card on the right. I'll sum it up for you. This competition is closer than I think we've ever seen any Region B before. Because although EU was very top heavy, it's almost every team that has a chance in this top 10 to be at the top spot, a 10% at least for each. We got to that projection by many different means of past performance and many other factors, but man, Mega and Dubs at the top spot of that percentage, predicted to win out this entire grand final.
So just to be clear, they have a 10% chance to win, even though they're at the top, even though they're towards the tail or the top of the leaderboard right now. And even though, if I remember correctly, it has the Great and Avery who were up in terms of points before this. Dubs and Mega still have the higher chance based on past trends. So shout out to Prodigy Analytics. Definitely interesting how much you can do with analytics to get into this. And another interesting one too is the top 10 right now, the top 10 of the leaderboards makes up 90% chance. So that means that the rest of the lobby has a very, very low chance of being at the top at the end of the day.
And without analytics, us casters can kind of see why. Just watching these end games, it's the same people who are surviving the top 5, the same people who are getting elims in that 5th to 6th zone. If you keep track yourself, you can catch on to trends and watch top performers make magic before it actually happens.
And something that we did not necessarily catch in this, and that is definitely not in the realm of spoilers anymore for watching this replay, has the Great and Avery fell in 45th place. So essentially off spawn. No eliminations. And didn't put themselves anywhere in this game. So like you said, you can't be having this happening in this game right here, right now, especially when you see Boga and Stretch are still alive, Dubs and Mega still alive, Zayt and Saf in the background of this screen right now, still alive. Knight and Rogue Shark, still alive. Where's Acorn and Jack? My question. I know they're probably still alive, but what position?
From what I see as well, the top 3 so far, I think Acorn and Jack are the only ones to have 2 games where they've had no points whatsoever. Mega and Dubs have gotten points every single game, so consistency's there, but if you're winning games in big fashion, it's fine. This is the first time, or no, the second time for Haz and Avery as well, where they don't have any points, including their 5th game, of course, so once before. Knight and Shark, though, yeah.
Just got an elim onto Kaz, and they're going to continue to press this to get the loot. Scoped and Tifu getting involved as well, and that is 2 duos that have fought multiple times, and that's kind of how you see the relationships between people on the map, dropping over up at the yachts and steamy stacks for Knight and Shark and Scoped and Tifu over at the grotto. They end up converging because the zones push them, no matter their rotation path, time and time again together. But that doesn't end up a full engage, and I think Knight and Rogue Shark got most of what they wanted, but Tfue and Scoped got to have their pick as well.
I'm just wondering who's going to have the best position in 4th zone. So much of the agency is already taken over, and oh my god, somehow Calc and Click survive up to this point. But then finally get taken out by Paper and Jamper, and then these guys get all the loot, all the goodies used for their position, can spend so much time in Storm because they have those medkits. And right now, Tfue and Scope will be the guards for the server coming into the actual safe zone. But they themselves are not in it yet.
No, they're not, but they have so much heavy sniper that they're going to take as many shots as they can. I see Dubs and Mega not in zone as well, so a lot of people. This is another agency one. And we did see, I think it was, what was it, the last game where Jamper and Paper won. It did come all the way off that mountain into the agency. Stretch and Book in a fight against Blake and Assault. And they did have an engagement against each other in their heat. Book and Stretch fell just short of Assault and Blake, and instantly the revive, I think, for both sides right now. Stretch goes to find Booga. He does get him up. Now it's got to pop the flopper. It's got to pop the shields, get back into this. They're trading the minis. Also possibly drop a big pots. They're back in it. And same is most likely the case for Salt and Blake.
Sometimes trades happen and they affect games later on, not so much immediately as people bounce back. Right now, if we look at the server, 2 duos I want to talk about right here. Knight and Shark, as well as Dubs and Mega, who both have the control of 2 towers. Vix and Boyle, though, are very close by, and it looks like Tfue and Scoped are trying for a top spot, but it's going to cost Scoped a lot of damage to his health pool. And now Tfue will have to over-encumber with mats, giving Scoped a medkit to use. They'll be back up and running, but not in the position that they hoped for.
Not at all. They lost the high ground. They lost the opportunity for those tags and the trades, and we haven't seen Tfue and Scoped really take height at all in these grand finals so far, which is where they thrive the most. Shark and Rogue Knight. I always do that. Rogue, Shark, and Knight. And a little bit of a tussle themselves, as they have to use their shields, but they've got plenty to work with. And there's a team directly above them. There's the minigun raining off in the distance, though.
The competition's about to start. No one got the half and half zone directly onto them. No man's land is through the middle, so there's only 2 lanes to get the safe country, and that's from the north and from the south. Where will these community pads be? Who will invest in it first? Will we see a stalemate? It's Dubs already walking over, not connecting both the north and the south, but connecting bases from back and forwards, and he has height easily.
How?
Just a short walk. No one notices. Everyone's just in distress over where the zone went, I guess. But they're still not super safe yet.
It's too easy. It's a walk in the park for Dubs and Mega. They overtake Knight and Rogue Shark again. If you remember game 1, it was off a launch pad here. They're not even in zone yet, though, which possibly is an issue. I think they might have thought that this would be safer. Now they wait, and they wonder, when is the time to build over into zone? As RPGs could come raining in. Zayt and Saf right as well, looking for that. They don't want to cap right here because this is the opportunity for a lot of teams to possibly land, but there's nothing in high ground to land, or in zone to land on right now.
Yeah, nothing in zone to land on. There's water all the way on the ground if you come in slightly short. There's so many people on the south side, which is late. Just look at the mini-map. Look at the player count. 50. No one's gone down yet. There's 28 duos. There's our first knock, just slightly in a few ways in, but Dubs and Mega already having trouble in trying to control height. Finally, I think they get it, but there might be people up top.
They just dominated Preen on the way back, and look, Shark and Knight have launch padded off the position that Mega came to, and they're now on opposite sides of 5th zone, looking and staring down the barrels at each other with the snipers and everything they have. Oh, Mega actually got the refresh off of that, which is very important. Shark at the same time, they blocked off the angle against Dubs and Mega, and they look down and find a nice double RPG elim against P-God.
There's an artificial makeshift bridge now, all the way from one island to the next. And an RPG with Knight and Shark, it might be just an easy target for them to shoot at. Looks like right now from the other side, Dubs and Mega are hoping for the zone. They do not get it. Have to come straight all the way through and by. They still will try to milk it out by any ways and shape possible, but we see Knight's aim. We see Shark's calls as well, so where people are flying. They're prepped and ready. This might be the end. Here's the beam coming through. Doesn't land. 2 ARs, but no shots. And an RPG to interrupt them while it's going on. It's getting crazy. It's a height retake. Maybe it's their own builds on each other. No, it's Stretch and Booga, and they're coming straight for height. Knight has to fight for it. It's Booga. The fast 90s are there. Doesn't get to connect. Stretch goes all the way up, but it's defense that's reigning true at the moment. And still, the pump shots are coming. And oh my God, the speed of Stretch. He has it, but there's still more launches. A lot more to develop. They've gone up so high. Is this probably too close to the sun? Will they fall? Stretch sees it. He might have to connect straight back to Booga and calm down.
I see Acorn still up. Booga way ahead of Stretch. As soon as that fight ended, he made sure that this was going to be connected for the rest of the time. He did get beamed a little bit. Look at Knight and Shark's position so far in front, and Stretch knows it. He knows the targets that he wants to take down, and he is making sure that they have no more of a say on height right here, right now. One thing to note is that because of the late take from Booga and Stretch, they have way more materials, and Shark, it looks like he's out. It looks like he has nothing left. No more mats in the tank.
And we look at the top 20, looking down from height, we can only really see the top 10. Ved, all the way at the back in zone, will not be able to survive. Zip is trying to find a way to climb through zone, get up the leaderboard, but will not see a perspective going all the way in. Too many builds in front of him. It's too thick as we see the kill feed at the top left. Masef still getting work done. Clarity, is he finally starting to clutch from up top? Paper Jamper don't have height this time, but have a very good spot in zone to move forward with. They're going to be safe and secure all the way on low ground as they jump back into the home of Booga and Stretch. It's the agency.
That it is, and I don't even think you can recognize it at this stage of the game. It's completely farmed out. Tfue again in this position. Top 15 just came through, but no materials for him, and he puts himself in an even more uncomfortable spot. And against Dubs and Mega, he does take out Mega, though, which has huge implications. Dubs, though, we've seen his clutches. We've seen his skill, his speed in moments just like this. Only 15 builds, and the zone still, actually, is he going to go out the side? No, he considered it for a second. A zone has a little bit unpredictable ways to move. He's going to try to make his way around. Zate's the guy who's blocking him out, but Booga and Stretch still on height.
Yep, all the way from the first zone looking for tags, now all the way at the end looking for a chance at the #1 spot that Booga himself has been missing for so long. They get the first beam down, the jump gun finally in action at its home arsenal. TJ all the way on low ground with Assault just at a sliver of 2 HP, trying to see if he can use that grappler, the RPGs and the Scar. It's so sad because he doesn't have the room to actually do it. It sent it in edgy with a big boomstick coming straight to his box. His reign is over. That loot now gone. The grappler won't be there to contest height. They're still having such a big showcase with these weapons. Dubs is still trying to survive. He sees an RPG from Sent Edgy before. Gets top 5, has the beam coming through. There's Nox here. I think this might be Paper and Jamper from earlier on that we saw before. He gets a big shot from the back and then denied from the front. Booga and Stretch finally plunking down, trying to end the game here. There's 4 duos left.
AV in this position before. You've seen him clutch at the agency, how he moves and how he works. Edgy and Scented are one of the full duos. Booga down, but Stretch just wipes them as well as TJ. And I think it's going to be a 1 versus 1 when this all ends. TJ goes down, but Stretch clutches up in the final moments. AV thought he had it. He thought he had another clutch at the agency of a lifetime, but it's Stretch who finishes things off and finishes things up. He stretches it all the way to the end for the victory royale.